I played the entire WWE 2K25 showcase mode, Bloodline Dynasty, and I have some thoughts on it I'm going to share with you today. Welcome to Assemble, my name is Matt. Let's talk about this whole thing. Yes, there will be some spoilers in here, so I warned you. The whole Bloodline showcase, beginning to end, it might take you anywhere from around 2.5, let's say 3 hours-ish to be able to complete it. It just depends how fast or slow we go. I will say, the top moment for the whole showcase mode for me was going to be the opening sequence. They recaptured WrestleMania 40, the whole moment with John Cena, the Bloodline, Seth, Cody. They did all of that in one whole sequence, and you got to interact with it and play it, and it wasn't, you know, go to the south, east, west, north, south corner outside by the ramp, barricade, toss to the east side, west side. They didn't do any of that. So I like that they didn't do that in the initial segment, and it made everything flow well. It was my top thing. It was very well done. You could tell that a lot of effort went into just doing that, and it was long. Like, they covered like the entire thing. So it was a fun, great way to be able to open it. And then you were getting into kind of Roman Reigns' story, the Bloodline story with the whole family. They say that breakfast is like the most important meal of the day. I am not somebody that gets into a lot of breakfast because I'm just very, very busy, but HelloFresh actually makes things a lot easier for me now. They're giving all subscribers free breakfast for life. That means you'll enjoy a totally free breakfast item with every single HelloFresh delivery. I have the wife, I got 2 kids. It's a little busy and chaotic around here. Prepping meals and stuff that tastes good and it's also healthy for us it's a little bit on the tricky side nowadays. So HelloFresh, I find, makes this a lot easier. We personally do use HelloFresh on a regular basis. So having everything delivered, having everything curated the way we want, it has made our lives a lot easier. We know that plans will change and our lives will get very, very busy, and that's why HelloFresh lets you easily customize your delivery from a week-to-week basis. You can mix and match your lifestyle options to suit your needs. You have wholesome, family-friendly, quick and easy. They got vegetarian options and more, and everything can be just tailored to your schedule by adjusting the delivery dates, and you can even skip a week if you need to when you're not able to cook at home. The one thing I like about HelloFresh is that they have seasonal menus, so they will actually change things up every single season. Different ingredients, different flavors, so it's not gonna get boring. That's one thing for us, is just the boredom factor of making the same things over and over again. HelloFresh gets rid of that whole situation for us because they have a lot of calorie smart, protein smart recipes for you to be able to get. You can choose from 30+ recipes from them. Everything arrives in pre-portions and it's right at your doorstep. And while your subscription is active, you can start the day off right with 1 free breakfast per box, which is awesome. Click the link in the description or use my code and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. 1 breakfast item per box while subscription is active. If you're in the United States, outside the US, the local discount will apply. Thank you so much for HelloFresh supporting the channel. Now back to the video. I'm not going match by match with you because there are a lot of matches. You do have like traditional matches that have happened in WWE and WWF, from the likes of Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna. You had Austin versus Rikishi, Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Rocky Maivia on Thursday Night Raw, and there is a bonus match at the very end, so that's your teaser little spoiler here. And if you've played the other showcase matches in previous years, you will be familiar, but it is not a Royal Rumble match. However, where you are playing in the arena, the venue, it's really cool. The arena and venue for this final bonus match was the highlight of finishing the whole showcase mode. They have other matches. They have dream matches that you're doing too. The Wild Samoans versus the Dudleys, the Islanders versus the Street Profits. We did that match too. 3-Minute Warning versus Authors of Pain. And they split up all of the dream matches and the regular showcase matches from history. They intertwine them, like they just kind of stagger them a little bit throughout the showcase. One of the downsides for the showcase and why I'm kind of mixed on it is the dream matches. They're not that good. Bunch of tag team matches. There is a singles match in there. High Chief Peter Maivia going up against George the Animal Steele. All of the dream matches essentially just break down to beat your opponent for a very long time and then win the match. They will try to do a little bit in there where it's like hit Samoan drops, try to do signatures, but for some of them, they were just like, fill the meter. It's going to take you 15 minutes to fill this meter up to beat them down as much as possible and then go for a pinfall. The other big flag for me that I was really just not impressed was going to be with these dream matches. They all happened at the day 1 PLE. They were all in that venue. They didn't go ahead and give you a recreated arena. These are dream matches. They didn't do a custom arena. They did a big fancy custom arena for the final bonus match. I think that they should have done smaller venues for each one of these dream matches. Done something unique. put more effort into it. It felt very copy paste. It felt like a very low amount of effort went into just trying to do, okay, we're gonna have Dudleys in this match, and let's put them up against some Samoans, and then just tell them to finish the match. It's a tables match, so try to beat them down and then put them through a table. And it's all in the same, every single one of these matches was in the same arena. I think it would have really helped and got players more invested in the dream matches if, one, they weren't majority tag team matches. Two, you pick some different people to go through. Like, there are so many tag team matches. We could have done big singles matches. Put John Cena in a singles match against High Chief Peter Maivia. I understand that the opposite side is that you have tag teams from the Samoan dynasty and you have like 3-minute warning. Well, you got to put them in a tag match. But I think with these create history matches, these dream matches, I think it would have been better if you had unlockables that were these custom arenas, ones that are only done through these matches, or they had custom championships, tag team titles, something like that. Unlock a new match type, perhaps. Unlock move sets. I don't know, but something else to be able to anchor it to feel like you're getting more out of it than just we unlocked 3-minute warning. Some of the matches that I really liked were Austin versus Rikishi. He did it for The Rock. I thought that was so much fun to be able to replay that match. It's something I haven't done in forever. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. We saw that a ton at the Royal Rumble. We saw that a ton for the previews. It was one of the first matches that they did show off for Showcase. That one is very good. You can also go and alternate the endings to things. Like if you're Roman, you could try to hit Seth with the chair to get the DQ finish. For me, I just went with, I'm just gonna beat Seth Rollins, so we didn't end it by DQ, and I hold up the Universal Championship. The Usos versus the New Day in Hell in a Cell with all their retro gear and all of that. That match was a lot of fun. And the big thing that really stood out to me as one of my favorite things across Showcase was the fact that Slingshot Tech was not there, and that they used the in-game models and everything, and they recreated it within the video game. It didn't take me out of it. I sat there and I'm like, I'm watching it. I'm watching the cutscenes and I'm enjoying it. I liked watching Seth versus Roman Reigns and doing that cutscene. Naomi versus Bailey. They did that one at Super Showdown. The models looked great in the cutscenes. Everything was on point, and I really hope that they're gonna say, okay, the fans seem to like this. They're gonna not do Slingshot Tech again. Keep that away. Lean more into this and recreate those moments using the in-game models. That really does work. The other thing that was really good was the amount of objectives you had. It wasn't overwhelming, and as far as I can tell, because I played the whole thing, I don't recall being told to Irish whip into the northeast corner and doing it that way. One thing they did add in for bonus objectives was going to be a countdown timer. So with some of your objectives, you will pull off certain moves and you'll finish the original objectives, and then a timer pops up to say, hey, you got to hit this signature within 20 seconds, 30 seconds. You got to be able to damage your opponent in the next 15 seconds, hit a spine buster, whatever it is. They put a little bit more of a rush on you. I do like that. Kind of keeps you more engaged and on your toes, that like, oh, now I got to switch it up and I have to try to do something very specific in a short window. I think that was a lot of fun, and I think they should bring that back again. My only issue was that there's a little bit of a panic when you're going through, because you're just kind of going through the motions, playing the match, and then all of a sudden you have 15 seconds to get someone to the outside and try to hit a spear or hit a big move on them, and you might not hit it. And those objectives are going to tie in, those bonus objectives are going to tie into what you are going to be able to unlock at the end of the match. So there were a number of times, for example, Roman versus Seth, I hit a spear on the inside, I saw the clock pop up, I'm still fighting with Seth, and then I had to turn around and I speared him because I thought that's what they wanted, but they wanted me to spear him on the outside. So I failed the objective because I didn't get it done in time, and I didn't have another finisher left. But because of that, I don't get all the unlocks, so you have to restart the match. You can still complete it though. You can still complete the match and still get, you know, most of your objectives unlocked and get the unlockables. But some of the arenas too, like I said, you got a bonus arena in there that's related to the Bloodline. It's amazing. They got the retro WrestleMania arenas. Thursday Night Thursday with Raw. I love that aesthetics of that retro style arena. So I like that there was a big variety of arenas we were getting, not just 15 WrestleMania arenas. There you go. It does change it up, and we have more to play with this time. So I do like that. But because we have 5, I believe, dream matches in here, they're all, aside from the War Games that they were doing, the 4v4 old Bloodline versus new Bloodline, that's at Survivor Series. The other 4 are all at day 1, and I harp on this because you could have done more arenas for players, put them in a retro Raw from 1998. You could have put them in Raw from 2005 or something, or a different WrestleMania arena. You could have just grabbed other assets and used that for those dream matches to allow us to unlock, and then we have more arenas to play with in the video game. Instead, it's just the day one PLE. So I really feel like that was a big waste. And I think they also, with the match lineup that they did, one match that stood out that I'm like, why didn't you put it in there? The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan, WrestleMania 18, wasn't in there. You could have totally done that match. You could have also done Rock versus Austin at WrestleMania 19. So I do feel that there were some misses in there, and they could have pivoted and they could have entered different matches. I understand that they have so many matches that they want to get across, and so many of these superstars, these legends, they want to be able to get into the game. It's like, well, what do you want? Do you want 5 different matches from The Rock? No, but I want a little bit more variety in there. You could have taken away one of those dream matches and done Rock versus Hogan. The unlockables. I think unlockables were really good. You got a nice variety. You have my faction cards that are unlockable in there. You have the legends themselves, the alternate attires for like Usos and New Day, the managers, you have the extra championships, and obviously the arenas to come with it. It's kind of the standard trope. Now, the thing that they are not doing this year, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you played it, maybe it's not the case. I wasn't able to just unlock everything day one. Everything was locked behind showcase mode. I'm playing on the Bloodline edition of the game, and everything was still all locked. None of the managers, superstars, arenas were unlocked, even though the accelerator was there and I had all of those superstars available. They were not put, anything associated with the showcase was locked behind showcase. So they went ahead and did it that way. Last year, you had a mixed bag where you were able to unlock all of the superstars in showcase, but then none of the arenas. So I believe this year it was just, it's all tied under showcase. You have to play it to unlock everything. I think that's good. That's the incentive to go play the mode. The alternative is letting people, if they have the accelerator pack, just press a button when you open showcase mode and say, hey, do you want to unlock all of the objectives already? And then just play through it. Maybe do that. Then you have the players to have the options to be like, nah, I want to play and I want to unlock as I go, or give me everything right now. I don't want to play showcase. Like I said, showcase is not hard, but there are some issues with it in terms of grindiness, failing objectives. One match that stands out is the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You're controlling Tamina in this ladder match, and you got to go up against Becky and Charlotte and Talia and others, and it is a slog. I had to play the Money in the Bank ladder match twice, and it wasn't like a quick, like, oh, I failed this one in 5 minutes, I'm gonna no, I was like 15-20 minutes each round, and it was annoying, and I didn't like it. I like that we have the new ladder match mechanic with the mini game, because that helped a ton, because you can skip up the rungs, you can go to the next level as you just use your finisher. So if you store finishers as Tamina, you're gonna be able to skip up and go to the next, and skip up and go to the next. So basically, store all your finishers, clear the ring, get the ladder, and move. The problem is Tamina is slow in the game, and you're getting just demolished every which way you go. I even went down to play it on easy because I'm like, I just want to get this done. And I was still having issues because just the AI just getting so involved all the time, not in a good way, not like just kind of stop, just annoying way of playing this match, having to knock everybody out of the way. But because Tamina is a slow character, you're not being able to quickly move things and push people off ladders and slide into the ring very quickly. I felt like I was constantly getting pushed out of the ring, failing the objective, pushed off of ladders. Like, I felt like it was just a chore to get through this ladder match. So maybe don't do a Money in the Bank ladder match that's a showcase related thing again, because it wasn't fun. There's also glitches. Now, it'll probably get patched and all of that, and then you won't see any real issues with it. Did experience some glitches with it. In a couple of the matches, there's like glitching through the ropes, where they're just trying to get in and out of the ropes, and their arms are getting tied up to it. I got Jey Uso doing the entrance for War Games, and then the camera pans and it's gonna go to the next superstar coming out, and you can see Jey just at the side of the cage, and his whole body is just kind of warping into the cell, so it's a little off. I had another moment where I was doing the Roman Reigns Seth match at the Rumble, and then there was just some guy who just appeared ringside. Like, I don't know who he was, and I couldn't touch him. I went right through him. So there's stuff in there that was like, they need to clean this up. It needs to get a patch, because there was just some glitching. Matches finished fine. The regular gameplay finished fine. There was just weird things. I'm like, who was that guy? Well, he's that guy there. And throughout every single match, like as you go, you're getting the cutscenes with Paul Heyman doing the narration, which is a nice touch, trying to tell the story of the Bloodline dynasty from beginning to end here. Stacking this showcase up against the previous ones, WrestleMania, 40 years WrestleMania, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and then obviously years past, how they've done it there too. This one is good. It's not bad by any means. There's a lot of fun matches in there, a lot of good moments to recreate to keep you more engaged in the matches, and it took away the kind of the sting of like, I'm bored, get me through this. Here's what I'll say too. If they did have slingshot tech in this, I probably would say that this is very average, because I would have felt really bored just sitting there and watching the Roman Seth cutscene again. So I think the showcase was good. I think it can be improved upon. I like that the objectives are not overbearing. They've cleaned that up. You're still getting kind of a lot of text in those little moments because you're trying to play the game, and then you're also looking up there and you're getting a little bit of narration of like, when you have time, go and grab your opponent and then just say Irish whip into the corner, like Irish whip turnbuckle, just bullet point it. And I don't need a long text description because you're trying to play or you're trying to complete an objective that has a timer on it. I need something even like more condensed to get the message across. I know who I'm fighting. We don't need to do a setup. We just need to say Irish whip outside, hit a spine buster. That's it. But a good variety of matches, a good variety of legends that you get to play with. Maga versus Cena, New Year's Revolution is a cool venue. You go back to NXT with Solo and Carmelo Hayes, so that's a lot of fun. But it wasn't like a groundbreaking showcase like I felt when I played the old like Attitude Era one. That was just, I loved it. It was one of my favorites where I felt like I can go back and replay this, and there's replay value in there. There's a little bit of replay value because you can try to get all your unlockables done like always, and you can also just try to change the finish to certain matches too, to just see what if you're going to get an alternate ending and what that will look like. But let me know what you think of showcase mode beginning to end and the bonus match too. But don't go anywhere. We have more 2K25 content coming at you. We got this video right here. Have a great day. See ya.